my name is Jasmine Jones, and I am a licensed clinical social worker, and you're now watching Black Girl, a Therapist in the Wild. This is a little show I like to call Therapist Sips and Reviews, and today we are reviewing Abbott Elementary Season 4, Episode 13, and we are sipping on some 4-month-old Stella Rose that was in my refrigerator. Yes, God. How y'all doing? So, the Super Bowl was tonight. I didn't watch it. I just watched the highlights on Instagram. I told you before, I don't do sports. It's repetitive and I get bored. But I love the halftime show. Yes, God. No, because I like when horrible people get their comeuppance. You know, it may not have stripped him of his fame from the people that, you know, are just like him, but it felt good. It felt like a spell was being cast in the stadium. Just like when Beyonce did her Formation album in the stadium, and that felt like a spell was being cast. It's black people just out here just doing it. And so I just feel so proud of black folks and black things and being black. I was thinking today, I was just like, you know what, I'm glad God made me black, because I would hate to have been anything else, sitting up here like these white people hating themselves and hating everything and destroying stuff and hating their lives and shit. No, black people, you know, we go through shit, but we try to create things to make us feel better and figure the shit out. We don't just, you know, the majority of us just don't sit around hating each other and hating ourselves and shit like that, you know. So I love being black. It's magical. Everybody want to be us, but they can't. So anyways, this episode is the science fair, and they are having a science fair at their school. I remember when I was a kid, I had a science fair, and I won the science fair though, because I like really was into it. I made this like wire thing that was, I shaped the wire from wire hangers into like, no more wire hangers. I had to say that. I shaped the wire hangers into like a bunny rabbit, and then I made this like electrical thing that like you had to take it around the wire and not touch the wire, or like a little thing would buzz if you touched the wire, like it was like a operation kind of thing. And I won that shit. I was so happy. I was like, oh my God. So Mr. Morton is having he's hosting the science fair, because he's the science teacher for, I think, the 8th graders or something. The oldest kids there, the 6th graders. And so we start to show off with Janine and Gregory having this competition to where they can't use their cell phones, and the first person that uses theirs, because they want to be closer as a couple, and the first person to use their cell phone is the loser, and then the loser gets a kiss. I'm just like, we fuck every day. Like, that's some free shit. Like, I want something real. Like, make me dinner. Give me some money. I want some money. I want a real prize. I don't give a fuck. I kiss you right now. But, you know, it's cute. It's cute. Janine's a cutie patootie. She's just, you know, innocent and naive and whatever the fuck. And that was the prize that she wanted, you know. And so, of course, she cracks because Jacob comes along and he's like going through his phone and he's all out loud, oh my, Kim Kardashian this and Jumanji that, and she just fought him over his phone until she lost. And then come to find out, Gregory cheated and basically got Jacob to do that shit. But that's cute though, because he wanted a kiss. That's so cute, you know. He could have just got a kid, but you know, I guess in the context of the game, it makes it cuter. I don't know. I'm single, y'all. I don't know how this shit works. I'm over here logicalizing it and shit because it don't make. It's not logical. But you know, love isn't logical. So shut up. They're so cute together. It's magical to see. Then here comes Morton. He's talking about there's a science fair, right? And no one wants to be the judge with him because he's an asshole. So I had to really think about this, because I'm kind of glad that they had that episode before this with Gregory. And someone said that they thought Janine was pregnant. And I was just like, because she was eating a lot. And someone commented on the last video, they thought Janine was pregnant. And because they saw that she was eating a lot and like she didn't feel too good. I thought that, but I didn't want to say it because I don't like to assume that just because women are eating a lot that they're pregnant. Like, and I have a stigma from that. And okay, of course, the sick part can also be added to that to make you go, she's eating a lot and she feels ill. Maybe there's something there. But for me, I was just like, because I ate a lot and I was like skinny, like a size 5 all the way up until I was about like mid-20s and shit. And I decided that I was going to drink was it 2 or 3 cans of it was so disgusting to think about, even because I can still taste it in the back of my throat. It was disgusting. I used to chug 3 cans of coconut milk, like the thick creamy coconut milk that comes in the cans that people cook with and shit. Those are 500 calories a can. I think it was 2, because I would do one in the morning and then one at night, so that was 1,000 calories already, and then I would just eat throughout the day on top of that, like my regular eating habits, and so that would just add the extra calories and shit, and I gained weight hella fast off that shit, and I was kept telling myself it's healthy fat, so like having 2 of these days, like, yeah. But I ate a lot, like, because my family has a fast metabolism, and I always either got like, do you have an eating disorder? Are you pregnant? Because they could not fathom that somebody that was a size 5 could eat 2 cheeseburgers in one setting and a thing of French fries. I remember I was at this job that I had when I was in college. It was for this after school program, and I had stopped to get like a burger from this place called Nathan's, and it was in Oakland, and I stopped there to get a burger before I went to the little team meeting they were having, and I took the burger out, and they was just looking at me, and I was just like, what? And they was just like, oh, I didn't even know you ate like that. I was just like, the fuck? And then I saw this documentary once, and they said that folks with fast metabolisms can eat as much as people that, do have like binge eating, or like, they be like big and shit like that, and they eat a lot. And so I was just like, no, I just, my whole family, we have fast metabolisms until we get pregnant. And then when we get pregnant, it just kind of depends on if we decide to work out. And once we lose the weight, then our metabolism goes back up, or we just stay big. I don't know. But no, like, that shit used to always piss me off. So I just never like assume somebody's pregnant just because they eating a lot. Like, it just doesn't, like, I don't like, even like if it's a big woman or a big person or like a skinny person or whatever, I just don't want to assume nothing, because sometimes people just like to eat. Sometimes people have fast metabolism. Sometimes people just, why can't women just be eaters and they eat a lot? That sounded wrong. Why can't women just eat a lot? Like, some women are eaters. Shut up. Why can't women just eat a lot without it having to be this connotation of, oh, there has to be something else going on with you and blah, blah. So, no, I didn't consider her to be pregnant. I mean, it crossed my mind, but I was just like, oh, she likes to eat like I do. That was the overarching thought. So maybe, but I don't know. I always think this show is going to like have some big dramatic thing go on, and it never does. It just kind of like fizzles out to this kind of funny, soft thing that happens with the conflict in the show. And that's been every season. Like, I thought the charter school was going to come for them and just blow some shit up and do some shit. That never happened. They just kind of fizzled that out. And they fizzled it out in a way that's still entertaining. So I think this is really like a Sesame Street type situation, y'all. I don't think this is a show where you're going to see a lot of dramaticals. Like a lot of big old plots and dramatical things and, conflicts and shit going on. I think you're going to see people learning how to communicate their problems and work through their stuff and get over it. Like, so, like, she could be pregnant, but I don't, let them date. Let them experience each other. They just got together. Like, it's only been like 1 school year. It hasn't been a full school year. It hasn't been like what, 6 months? Like, it ain't even, let them date. Let them just be together. Like, you can have, aspirations of her being pregnant and stuff. I have aspirations of her getting married and then getting pregnant. That's what I want to see. I want to see a whole proposal episode. I don't want to see her get pregnant before she gets married. I don't give a fuck. But, so to that person, yeah, that's a thought that can happen when you see women eating a lot and also feeling ill. But, women can just eat. Women can just like to eat too. Like, we can just like to eat like food and stuff. And we can also like to eat a lot of food at once without having like any major issues or problems or anything. So that was my thought about that. But thank you for the comment though. Like, it brought up something for me to think about. and put in a video, I guess. Um, so what is it? Morton comes in and he wants to do this science fair situation, right? No one wants to work with him because he's an asshole. But they'll volunteer for the kids and whatever, but they don't want to be a judge with him. And how this shit fell out, I just was feeling like there's 2 against 1. You don't need all 3 votes for like a kid to get points on something. Like y'all just kind of fell over and just did what this nigga said. I don't understand what happened, but I do, and I'll get to it in a minute. So Morton basically had them put names in the hat. Everybody put Jacob's name and Jacob put Barbara's name. So it ended up being Jacob and Barbara who was going to judge with him. And they don't like this nigga. This nigga, like I said, I like how in the last episode we got a kind of good idea of what autism could look like in Gregory, because this is another version. I won't say Morton's a narcissist. We haven't seen him enough in the show. Like with Gregory, we get the full biopsychosocial environmental stuff. We've seen him with his friends. We've seen him with his parent. We know about his past history as a child. We've seen him at his workplace. We've seen him in a relationship. We've seen like all the environments he's in and how he interacts in those environments for about 4 seasons. Morton comes in and out, like, okay, and every time he comes in, he's just the asshole in the room. So I don't want to apply shit to him when we haven't seen a full, well-rounded picture of who he is as a person, right? So I would say, like, I was looking at Morton, I was just like, because people can, manipulative behaviors, look the same whether you have a diagnosis of narcissism or you are just really irritable and you have the symptom. So irritability is a symptom for various different mental health disorders like depression, bipolar, anxiety. People will express these disorders through anger, and a lot of times it's men. Men will funnel their upsetting emotions through anger and then project it onto other people, and they'll be manipulative and hurtful and stuff like that. So Morton, likes to have the attention. He has very rigid thought processes about his self-belief system and where he thinks he needs to be in the world and how he wants to be seen in the world. And so any chance he gets to be seen a certain way, he's going to try to take control of that situation and try to like make everybody his like little errand person or whatever. And so that's what you see here. He's trying to act like I'm the expert on science, and we need to be rigid about this because the kids want to learn science, and he doesn't want to be partners and actual teammate with the other judges. He wants to be the main person deciding who gets the prize for this little kid thing. Like, this is his whole little world. So he goes on this power trip, right? Just like Melissa said. And so, like, people with autism can be very rigid too, but it's usually around their fixations like trains or cars or their routines or something like that. People that are very manipulative or have narcissistic tendencies are all the way over here, full-blown narcissists, are rigid around their self-belief, and how they want to be seen in the world, and they will not be budged. And so that's where Morton is, because yes, he has a very rigid mind frame and he's hyper focused on what he believes is right and thinks everyone else is wrong, but that's just one thing about him. That's like literally the only thing we see, except for the fact that nobody likes him and his wives have left him and took everything from him, and like that's it. Like, we don't know if he has trauma in his childhood, whatever, but like, we just know he's an asshole. And so he's trying to take over everything, and they walk out on him. Like, initially, Barbara and Jacob walk out on Morton, and they're like, "Oh, fuck you, nigga. You ain't shit. Like, we ain't trying to listen to you," and da-da-da. And then eventually, Barbara sees Morton struggling with the banner, and she's telling Jacob, like, Jacob, she feels bad for him. She's like, Jacob, we should go over there, and we should be nice to him because nobody likes him, and he's sad and miserable all the time, and blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like, girl... I was just like, Barbara, you just stood up to him. Like, you be standing up to, but then I had to realize, like, you can easily control Jacob. Jacob don't like himself, okay? But then you also recognize that Barbara don't like herself to a certain extent too, because she let them church bitches run roughshod over who she is as a person, because I don't know, maybe she doesn't, like maybe she questions herself or feels insecure about her faith or whatever, or they make her question herself or feel insecure about her faith or whatever, so she tries to kiss their ass and stuff to make them like her or whatever, even though she don't like them at all. And so she also is vulnerable to a nigga like Morton. And so Morton, when they talk to Morton talk, and it sounds stupid. I'm just like, why y'all listening to this nigga talking about, oh, we need to be rigid so that the kids can learn, because the kids want to learn science and they want to do this. So we have to make sure that it's like a real competition, and really, because Barbara wanted to be the judge that looked at, the aesthetics and of the display and how pretty it is and things like that. And then Jacob wanted to be the judge that questioned the morality of the science experiment and what was the thought process behind you doing this and how could it affect things into the future and stuff like that. Like, that would have been great for that little kid that was doing the water filtering shit, because he could have been like, I want to see if there is a way to clean the water in this school, so I made I'm tired. Morton's stupid. And so, like, Morton shoots them down and it's like, no, science is just about point A to point B, getting this thing, cause and effect. And we built the atom bomb. We don't ask questions about what it's being used for. And they was just looking at him like, oh, this nigga's crazy. So now Barbara feels bad for him, and she like, we need to go. And so he talks them into being assholes to the kids and stuff like that. And I'm just like, therapy. Not a mention of it, because Barbara, I can see Jacob being taught to some shit, but Barbara ain't the one or the two. Like, and the fact that she got that vulnerability, and that if someone was just manipulative enough that she would fall for that shit, that pisses me off, because I was watching that shit and thought he sounded stupid. I was just been like, with Jacob, I would have been like, look, nigga, it's two of us. It's 2 against 1. So if one judge don't agree, the 2 of us can agree. It's more of us than him. So it's just like this shit with Trump. There's more of us than him. Shut up. We can win this if we just loved ourselves enough to say, I don't like this shit, so we're going to tally our 2 votes against your vote, and we're going to find a kid that is going to win this, and your vote just won't count. That's what I would have did, but whatever. We allow others to get into our minds and make us feel like they want us to feel. They make us feel like they feel inside. Like Barbara with them church people. This is why I don't like it's hard for me to build community, because community, like when you're around a big group of people in the same environment for a long time, that group of people starts to want to cultivate this similar mindset. And if I'm not with that mindset, I'm not gonna do that shit. That's when I pivot, and I be like, well, I guess I'll just take from this what I need for myself, because my mindset doesn't fit with your mindset. So I'm just gonna take what I need from this situation for myself. You won't know. I'm still gonna be nice, and you won't know. You'll just see me setting boundaries around certain things that I'm not gonna do. And you see me not showing up for certain shit because I didn't want to do it. And you may question me, you may not. You may talk shit behind my back, but I'm not here for you, nigga. At the point where your shit start looking weird, the group think starts looking weird and shit, is the point where I break away from that mentally. And maybe it's the double Aries and a Leo in me. Aries sun, Aries moon, or Aries rising and Leo moon. Like, I just cannot with the same. Like, I don't like being copied. I don't like copying others. Now, if it happens organically, like I said, if you're in an environment where y'all all got a similar morals, similar values, similar mindset, you care about people. And the thing is that I'm not like way out there with caring about people or with what I want when I'm, interacting with folks. Just be chill. Just be chill and don't be mean. Like, it's literally that simple. Just be chill. Don't be mean. Care about people. Don't let the power that you have go to your head where you forget that you're talking to another human being just because you view them as beneath you because you got a certain status or money or whatever. Like, that shit is fucking weird. Like, you forgot that these are humans too and they matter. Like, you just like, and I see that a lot in social justice, mental health spaces, like at my old job, like in grad school and stuff like that. Like, you would see people are in this space because they want to feel at the top of these people that need their help. They got a God complex or some shit like, and that's why you became a therapist. You didn't become a therapist because you wanted to help people. You became a therapist because you wanted a space where you could feel powerful because you don't like yourself. And that is a mark of somebody that doesn't like themselves, that can be easily swayed and moved by status and power. And I don't fuck with that. As soon as I see that shit, I have detached mentally from you as a human being. And I'm just looking at, I'm observing. As long as you don't fuck with me, bother me, do like horrible shit to other people around me, I'm just observing. You don't know I'm observing though. I'll be nice and cordial and kind and everything, but now I'm in observation mode because I'm waiting for this to escalate, because usually a person that can clock patterns like I can knows that behaviors like this tend to escalate into some bullshit as the person gets more and more powerful in this environment. And it's fun to watch as long as it doesn't involve me or bother with me, and they're not doing like horrible rapey type shit in the environment or something like that, or stealing or like, you know, like abusive shit. But like, shit be going to people's head, and that's what's with them church bitches. Like, the fact that you run that choir and then you got them choir people as your little lackeys and stuff like that, and that's your little environment of power and shit. It's like, no, nigga, just be chill. Like, what the fuck? Like, just because you got a status and you got a certain amount of like that's why my favorite anime character is One Punch Man. Like, these animes where the main character is all powerful, but they don't like brag about it. They're not assholes about it. They just chill. It's like their powers to them is just like their nose, their hands. It's just another part of them. It's not something to lord over people and make them feel bad about themselves and brag about and shit like that. It's like, I want to be all powerful, but still just a chill regular person. Half the time y'all niggas ain't gonna even know I'm all powerful because I don't talk about it or put it out there like that, because for what? Especially if I clock that you're a little weak-minded and vulnerable and shit, and you got insecurities and shit, I'm not gonna sit up here and like lord my shit all over you, like I did this and I did that, and make you feel worse about yourself. I can see it in your eyes as you start feeling worse about yourself and shit like that. Like, I don't feel like in taking that energy. I don't think I'm better than nobody. I feel like I worked my way up to this. I climbed that motherfucking mental ladder, and other people can too and shit. Like, I'm not better. I just worked on that muscle. Like, and other people can work on that mental muscle of self-love too. Like what the fuck is the big deal? Like, it's weird. It's weird when I watch people that have, like, especially in the social justice arena, that have power, the mental health spaces that have power, and they use it to harm people. Like, as soon as they get a little bit of money, a little bit of recognition, like they become the supervisor or they become the director of some shit. You know, like I saw that at my old job. Like, you become the director or the supervisor of some shit. Now you being a bitch. You wasn't a bitch before. Like, you was chill before. Now I have to question everything I told you before you got promoted, because now you know shit. That's why I can't be making close friends at work, because I've seen the switch up and it's fucking horrible. So environments like that create weak-minded people, and they're usually led by weak-minded people who only care about power and control and not about the mental health of the people that they're leading. You don't care about how you impact these people. Like, I always tell my clients, we're peers. Like, me and you, we working together to help you get better. Like, this is not just me making you better and healing you and shit like that. This is you choosing to come here every week to work on your shit. And that's powerful, because a lot of people can't do that shit. Like I couldn't do that shit for a long time. And so you doing some shit that it took me until I was about 33, 34 to do, you know? And these are like these are like young people in their early 20s and shit like that, and I'd be hella proud of them. I'd be like, look at you over there healing and shit. Like, it's fucking weird that these people want to like tarnish these young people, especially young people. Like, it's like these niggas that want to like tarnish these young girls' minds and shit like that when they're supposed to like I remember being 21. I remember being 18, 19, and niggas be trying to, like, old niggas be trying to talk to you and do all this other stuff when leave these young people alone. They need to experience life at the age that they're at, because the things that they're going to experience is going to teach them who they are as an adult. And we want to not traumatize them as much as possible so they can go into adulthood being decent fucking people. But when you interrupt their developmental period of them learning about themselves as an adult because you some 40-something-year-old motherfucker that wants to date a 22-year-old, now they have to try to stretch and elevate their mind to a place that they weren't ready to go because they don't have the life experience, nigga. I be telling these young folks, just learn your 20s, just learn how to pay one bill on time. That's all you need to focus on, and having fun. Don't focus on babies and getting married. Focus on paying one bill on time every month. That's what you need to focus on right now. And having a good time and learning how to love yourself. That's all you need to focus on. Building community and shit. Surrounding yourself with people that can show you, reflect back the love that you feel for yourself. That's all you need to fucking focus on in your 20s. Like, you ain't focus on these niggas. I wish someone had told me that. Even if they had, the way my mind was working and shit, because I had been so traumatized before that, like, I probably wouldn't have listened. But still, it's just like, that's all these young people need to be focusing on. And these niggas be coming into their life and being like, no, focus on me and my problems and my brain that's still stuck being 15-year-old when I first experienced trauma. So I'm a grown-ass 15-year-old acting like a fucking child all the damn time when I'm really 45 years old and I don't... and I need to go to fucking therapy and shit. I'm tired. So, like, you know, that's why people say, like, Christianity is a cult. But I think anything that you know, has fucked up leadership that wants to take control of your mind and take control of how you feel about yourself, anything could be a cult, honey. Like, it is what you make of it, you know. There are actual cults out there that be teaching doctrine that basically is manipulation and stuff, but like, no, like, it is what you make of it. Like, take what you need and leave the rest. If the rest doesn't match with you, if you feel uncomfortable about something or whatever, don't keep going to these spaces. Or if you are in those spaces, take what you need. Now it becomes about you. Now it's about you and what you need. Like, it's not that big of a fucking deal. Like, that's what I mean. Like, that's why I said, like, just be chill and love yourself. That's all. I'm not asking for too much to be around me. Just be chill and love yourself. You know, you can make mistakes as long as the mistakes don't involve causing physical, emotional, or mental harm to me. But trying to manipulate me, like, that's like some shit that can be avoided. Like, you have to actively not do those things, but you can, if it's in your heart not to be that way, then you just won't be that way. So there are people out there who just won't be that way. So Barbara's in some weird ass shit at that church that has made her vulnerable and susceptible to other manipulative people like Morton. I'm getting all extra deep in these fucking shows, and it's just a little grown up Sesame Street show and shit. Like, whatever, I don't give a fuck. It is like, that should be pissing me off. Like, we shouldn't. Why is Barbara listening to this nigga? Why Jacob's weak-minded. He be caring about what people think too much and shit. Well, it's these niggas that be caring about what people think too much. Like, I used to be like that. Just be caring and like you have no inner validation at all, or very little. Every ounce of validation comes from something outside of you that you can't control, and that's some bullshit. It took a lot of work, but once I learned to let that shit go and let most of my validation come from the inside, it was very freeing. And people gonna think you're an asshole. No, because the manipulation isn't working. And they're gonna be looking at you like, oh, she thinks she's better, she thinks she's an asshole, or she's an asshole, or whatever. And it's, no, this hurts me, and I don't want to feel hurt, so I'm not gonna partake in this. That's all that is, honey. Like, it may not hurt you, or you ain't clocking the hurt, but that ain't got shit to do with me. I'm not partaking in some shit that's gonna hurt me. I don't care if you a billionaire. I don't care about your status. I don't care about none of that shit. Are you a good person? Do you love yourself? Do you care about other people? Do you care about other people having autonomy and individuality and being able to come together in that individuality to create community while still being individuals and shit, and having that individuality praised within that community instead of shut down whenever somebody expresses their individuality in positive, helpful ways? Like, there's some bullshit. I don't feel like. So it made me feel sad to see her like that. She didn't need to be listening to that nigga. He's weird. And so, like, he leads the little situation, and like, it's a failure because they walk around and they're like his little lackeys. It's fucking weird how people can just quickly be manipulated into just bowing down and lowering their head. I was like, girl, pick your fucking head up. What's going on? This is not the Barbara we know. But it is. It's the Barbara that we know whenever them church bitches come. So I had to remind myself of that because we ain't seen them church bitches in a while. And so, like, he's going around and every little kid is in there just showing this little baby. I had no idea this was a little boy, but you know, gender is a construct, but still, like, I had no idea this was a little boy. And he's showing his, like, little flowers that change color and things like that. And this nigga gonna say, well, show us something that's not so obvious. I was just like, nigga, he's a child. He doesn't know that this was gonna happen like this. This is new to him. You talking about science needs to be rigid and all this other stuff without allowing these children to learn something new within their science project that they didn't know before. Just because you knew it before doesn't mean they knew it. So for them, they're learning some shit by creating this shit, and they deserve a reward and accolades for learning some shit for the first fucking time, bitch. I'm gonna cuss him out so fucking. I don't like him. I think I don't like him worse than Jacob, because Jacob, I don't like Jacob because he just be out here being like white and clueless, and it just annoys the shit out of me. But they be getting him together and he figures it out. Like, Morton's just an asshole. Morton's just a pure D asshole. He's manipulative. He's an asshole. And, you know, probably some shit happened to him or whatever, but no, he's an asshole. And so they basically don't give none of them kids a prize. And then the kids basically just had a revolt because, so we rewind it back. Let's go to the other teachers. So the other teachers at first were just like, okay, this is a project for the kids, whatever. Then Ava came in with her ass because she was helping this one student that his dad didn't sign the permission slip. Oh, excuse me. And so she was helping him because he wanted to do this little water filtration shit. So she came in and she was like big and bad, trying to be all competitive and shit like that. And like, they all got in on it and they wanted to compete too and shit. And then this one little girl, her science project, this little baby, she's going around trying to, like, she's basically studying the teachers, and they don't realize that she's studying them like that. And she's using the power dynamic theory. And the power dynamic theory is kind of similar to like the family systems theory, basically the hierarchy that we build within a group, and like the how we assign power to people, or how people end up taking power and stuff within the group and stuff like that. And you know, the goal is to consistently share power throughout, you know, and allow other people to speak up and to, you know, work together in sharing power and stuff like that. And also to have this power dynamic within yourself where you can speak up for yourself and, you know, express yourself in certain ways, because you also as an individual feel powerful. And so like, this little baby studying the power dynamic amongst the teachers and seeing that each teacher is basically wanting to be the expert, wanting to get over on each other and be the winner. They're so focused on winning against each other that they forget the kids. They forget this is just a children thing. This is just for the babies to make some shit. Like, this is for them to have fun with science. They're like, no, my student's gonna win. No, my student's gonna win. Blah, 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 blah. And it's like, what is y'all doing? Like, the teachers are crashing the fuck out. Like, Janine's getting anxious and she's trying to sneak and see what Ava and Melissa are doing and all this other stuff. And Melissa trying to, like, and then they end up being mean to the kids because the Ava's, Janine's kid wants to make a volcano and put jelly beans on it. And Janine's like, well, let's do something that's actually going to win. And I'm like, girl, so that irritability comes up within that anxiety. And then you say some mean shit, and then you don't notice that you're saying mean shit, and it's like, this is a baby, like, this is a little child, like, what are you talking about? And then, like, the one little boy wants to put, like, you know, googly eyes on the potatoes or whatever, and, like, Melissa's like, no, that's not gonna work. We just need to make this light brighter, because he's trying to make, like, potato light bulb situations or whatever. These are babies. They're just kids. They just making stuff for fun and shit to learn about science, and they just forgetting about it. They basically like trying to claw their way to the top to get the prize, and they're forgetting about the children, right? They're not trying to collaborate with each other as teachers. They're not trying to collaborate with the kids. They're not trying to take any kind of constructive, you know, insight from the children and what the children want to do. They shouldn't even be like, yeah, they're supposed to be helping the kids, but they shouldn't even be partnering up with one kid. Maybe Ava's kid, because his dad didn't sign the whatchamacallit. But like the rest of them, like, it's not that serious. Like, the only ones that was chilling about it was Gregory and Mr. Johnson and shit, and he was just looking at all the rest of them like, what the fuck is y'all doing? Like, these are just kids. Like, he helped one of the kids make this like this Swiffer vacuum cleaner robot situation, like it was like a mop or some shit, but he wasn't trying to compete with, he was just helping his child do something and stuff. Like, they both was just looking at the rest of the teachers like, what's wrong with y'all? Like, why are y'all And then like the power dynamics come in again with Morton. Like, he feels like he's so superior and he's so knowledgeable and all this other stuff, and like he feels like everyone else, but the other two are just little plebeians. They're just little, like, you know, lackeys. They're just supposed to be there to, you know, like in the background taking notes or some shit. And I'm just like, what's wrong, Morton? What happened to you, love? Like, I mean, at the end, like, Barbara was able to kind of explain it to him in a way he might have understood. Like, maybe if everyone is treating you fucked up, like, maybe it's a you thing and not a, you know, a them thing. And that's true. There's the other side to that too. Sometimes people treat you fucked up because you treating them fucked up, and they leave usually. And usually, like, if you treating other people fucked up, usually what you'll notice is that people aren't gonna keep treating you fucked up. They're just gonna not talk to you. They're not gonna be around you. They're gonna actively leave you if you're treating people fucked up most of the time. And then there's the other side where, like, people are treating you fucked up, and you're allowing these people into your life to treat you fucked up. So it seems like everyone you encounter, when in reality, no, you're just used to people treating you fucked up. So you're drawn to these people, and these people are drawn to you because you allow them. Because manipulative people with narcissistic tendencies and narcissists, they are drawn to people that they can get one over on, and they're going to try everyone. You're not special. They're just going to try you. They're going to try her. They're going to try him. They're going to try everybody in the room until they find the one that is vulnerable and weak-minded enough to listen to their bullshit. And usually they can clock the person in the room. Like, they be listening out for the weak-minded people that be like giving certain hints that they got like vulnerabilities and don't like themselves and shit. They be looking like sharks and shit. And so, like, you got this dynamic where people feel like, oh, it's all me. I'm doing all this bad shit, blah, 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 blah. And that's why people don't like me. But in reality, it's like, if you look back and you ask yourself, did I do anything to this person? If you can truly say that, I didn't really do anything. They're just mean to me. Like, I came in the room with this nice dress on, and they just started saying how the dress was ugly, and I didn't even say nothing to them. That's usually a sign that it's not you. If you just living your life, just free in the world, you like to color your hair pink and wear stripes and have different colored nails and blah, 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 blah. And you got this friend that always got some shit to say about the stuff that you wear and how you look and that you look, why you wear, instead of just letting you fucking live. Usually it's not you. Usually it's them. It's them. Usually if you are a fucked up person like that, people won't stick around to make you feel worse or fight back. People will just leave. Or if you're a fucked up person like that, you're going to have a lot of victims around you that are trying to placate you because they think they're the problem. But you're not going to have real friends. You know, they think they're the problem because you manipulated them into thinking they're the problem, of course. But you're not going to have real friends or real people around you. They're either going to be people that were decent and then decided to just abandon you because you're a piece of shit. Or they're going to be people that are passive and you can easily manipulate and all this other shit. But it's not going to, or they're going to be people that are bigger and badder than you in the manipulation game, and they're going to make you bow down. And now you're going to have an abuser in your life. So you was abusive and now they're abusive and stuff like that. So, but with Morton, no, he's just a dick. He just be talking shit about, and that's why nobody wants to hang out with him. Like, that's what you see here, is that both his wives left him. And then the thing that he does is that he does the sob story shit. So I call these type of manipulators the sad boy fuck boys. So usually, like, the sad boy fuck boy is the type of dude or the type of person, but let's stick with dudes because dudes be doing this shit a lot, where whenever you try to set a boundary with them, oh, I'm so depressed and no one likes me and my dad used to hit me. It's like, why you only bring this shit up when I'm trying to tell you that you did something that was hurtful to me or bothersome to me? Like, why are you only bringing this shit up then? Like, why are you not bringing this shit up, like, you know, with a therapist? Like, they just a sad boy fuck boy. They just use their sadness as a sob story to manipulate you. And that's what he did when the kids revolted, revolution, yes they did, he went and sat on the bench, and then Jacob and Barbara went over there, and because they felt bad for him, I would have left his ass. No, them niggas need to be left by themselves so they can figure their shit out. I don't care. I know what it looks like when somebody's not gonna change. And then so I don't waste my fucking breath. Like, I've had enough of these conversations with people that are just complete and total assholes, whether they're just manipulative or they have narcissistic tendencies or they're full narcissists. And the difference between like manipulative and narcissistic tendencies is that manipulative behavior is going to look the same all the way through. It's just that with narcissists, people that are diagnosed narcissists, this is the personality trait. That's why they call it a personality disorder. This is who these people are. This is who they believe. It's not a symptom of depression, like I'm irritable, and so, you know, I express that by lashing out at other people. But if I were to go to therapy and work through this, I would be able to work through it and have enough empathy and take accountability. No, this is how people now see the world. I see the world as against me, and I have to fight everything and everyone. And I need to be on top to be seen. And so I'm going to claw my way to the top, step over who I need to step over and do what I want. And so that's usually the difference between the personality disorder, is that it's this is who the person is versus this is a symptom of something that the person has. If that makes sense. I hope it makes sense. I'm going to find a little thing to explain the difference because I'm fading away. And so, like, I can't truly say he's a narcissist because we haven't seen the rest of his biopsychosocial environments. We haven't heard about his childhood. We ain't seen him with his friends, if he has them. Every time we see him, the only symptomology we see is him being a fucking dick, him being controlling, him always having something negative to say. So the only symptom that we see is irritability and anger. That's not enough to be able to be like, oh, he's a narcissist. No. And, you know, narcissists are usually more grandiose than that. Like, he would be trying, maybe not take over the whole school, but like, you would see more of him if he was actually a full-blown narcissist, because they like to get attention. They feel so empty and alone and unseen inside that their only recourse, this is the extreme of trauma responses, so their only recourse to get attention or to feel seen is to step over, beat down, manipulate, and hurt as many people as possible, because all attention is good attention, even bad attention. But no, he's a fucking dick. Like, he's a fucking dick, and I would have left him there. But they went over there, tried to be nice and whatever. And they basically told him it's probably you. And he was just like, oh, maybe it is me. Now that you're my besties, like, let's hang out sometime. And they were like, no, we're not hanging out, because they still clock that just because you acknowledged it this one time, you have enough symptoms and anger and negativity inside of you that we just waiting for you to get triggered again, because this needs therapy. It's not about just, this is another example of the difference between like narcissistic tendencies, manipulation, and autism. Like when they told Gregory he was being strict with the kids in that one episode in the first season, when he was being strict with them kids and wanted to keep them at recess so they can learn math. When they told him that, when Barbara told him if one child is failing, it may be that child, but when the whole class is failing, now we got to look at the teacher. He immediately hopped to it and was like, well, let me know what I can do. Because when you told him that he was being hurtful to people, he didn't want the being hurtful part superseded them kids need to know math. And he was like, I don't want to be hurtful. Let me know. So he wasn't aware that he was being hurtful. Morton is fully and completely aware that he's being hurtful, and he's doing it on purpose, just like Jacob said, and he doesn't give a fuck. He doesn't give a shit. Like, he doesn't care. He doesn't care that he's mean. He doesn't care that he's hurtful. And that's the issue. That's why it's him. It's always him that's causing the problems in his own life. And so, fuck that nigga, girl. Like, I don't even know why you talking to him, but I guess I be trying to be nice. You gotta you have to see him every day, and he works with the kids, and you got to interact with him in the workplace. So I would just be cordial. Like, I'm not going to cause problems, but I'm not going to sit up here and try to fix your fucking problems. Go to therapy, nigga. Like, work through things that made your wives leave you. Work through that shit. And then maybe, and we can't say Morton has autism either, because like I said, like, there's no other symptomology for it. Like I said, and then, you can also have a comorbidity with autism and like sociopathy and narcissism and shit like that. But like, there's not enough evidence. There's not enough evidence to be like, this is science, it's research. There's not enough evidence to say that he got all these highfalutin whatchamacallits. Right now, he's in the category of, you are a motherfucking dick, and he could be depressed and irritable. And he's funneling his emotions through anger, because men do that because we don't teach them. We have to teach children the words for their emotions. Like, that feeling that you feel that's uncomfortable is embarrassment. That feeling that you feel that's uncomfortable is sadness, and so on and so forth and whatever. But we don't teach little boys that most of the time in patriarchal societies. And so little boys grow up still feeling these uncomfortable emotions and being triggered, but they don't know how to articulate it. So they articulate it through anger, frustration, being a fucking dick to people and stuff like that. Like, how dare you? Like, they're punishing people for because I don't want to say that people are making them feel uncomfortable, but in their minds, they feel like these people are making them feel this uncomfortable emotion, and these people need to be punished for it. That's usually what manipulators and narcissistic tendencies type people are going through. They think that these people did some shit to them to make them feel this, and so we need to punish you motherfuckers. We need to knock you back down to size and shit. And it's just like, nigga, no. You're just insecure. You're just an insecure individual, and you don't like yourself, and you go get therapy. I'm still mad about Barbara, though. I'm like, girl, stand up. Like, what? She really was standing behind this nigga, like letting him lead and shit. I was like, what's going on? Why are you doing this? And I had to keep reminding myself of her around them church people. Did the church people traumatize you, girl? Did they traumatize you to the point where anybody can just come along and as long as they smooth talking enough, you gonna listen to them niggas? And I'm just like, girl, somebody get these people in therapy. But no, fuck Morton. He's a piece of shit. I don't care what you're talking about. No, every episode he's in, he just be saying some stupid shit. And I just be looking at him like, nigga, you just angry at the world. You just don't like yourself. You don't like nobody else. Like, what's going on? Like, what happened to you, love? Like, and it wasn't just your wives leaving, because you pushed them away. Like, you's a pusher. You push people away, and you do it through being mean and trifling and stuff. And people will do that consciously and subconsciously. They'll just push people away from them, and it's fucking annoying when they do it in an asshole type way. Like, it's stupid, but yeah, I don't like that nigga. But anyway, so they had a science fair, and then the little girl like calls them out and is like, "No, we're gonna grade grade our own projects and stuff." And then the little girl who was doing the power project, she won, right? And she was able to be like, "Yeah," and I learned that adults fall apart when competition is involved. And I was like, yes, little baby, yes. And it's true. Like, what they clearly showed, I like how they had the kids at the forefront of this, looking at the adults like they're crazy. They put the adults and the kids on an even playing field. They don't make the kids feel like they're beneath them and shit. Like, that's what I mean. Like, being in an environment, like in this situation, like, we're gonna have moments, but overall they treat these kids like they on an even playing field with them. Like, as long as they're not doing dangerous shit, unless except for that little boy that wanted to play with fire, and Janine was like, well, you signed a permission slip. I'm like, he could try to burn the school down, but I guess Melissa was over there monitoring the children with the because Janine burnt herself. She's crashing the fuck out. I don't know. But no, they have the kids on this even playing field with these adults, and I really like that, because like, that's the type of environment I like to be in. Like, we all equal. We all just here like trying to learn some stuff, and when the kids revolted and the adults let them, the adults didn't get all like, how some adults be when kids stand up for themselves and actually call out some fucked up shit that you're doing to them as an adult. And adults be like, no, fuck you. You need to respect my authority and shit. Blah, 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 blah. And it's like, no, they didn't do that. They just allowed the kids to grade themselves and give themselves an award, because that's how it should have been, because they knew they were wrong. And they were able to take accountability for being fucking wrong. And you don't see that often, especially with black kids and black adults and stuff. Like, black adults, we've been taught that kids seen and not heard, but the fact that they're showing these kids being able to articulate themselves, express how they feel, express their emotions, and they're not babying these kids. Like, they're not treating them like little itty bitty babies that can't do anything or can't speak up for themselves. Like, that's just amazing. I thought that was fucking amazing. And so, like, the little baby said, y'all adults can't get it together. Like, y'all out here like having this competition over this thing that's for kids. Like, what's wrong with y'all? And they had to hang their heads in shame, because them little babies was right, and Morton was the worst of them, because he sat up there and didn't award any of them kids anything. He said, none of you met our standards. And I'm just like, what are you talking about? These are babies. He irritates the shit out of me. That's what set the whole thing off, because if he had gave somebody an award, then the kids would have just ate it and was like, well, whatever, somebody won. But no, he sat up there and said everyone gets a 0. And I'm just like, sir, sit down. And they was sitting up there too, looking like they agreed with him. I'm looking at Barbara and Jacob. I'm like, what the fuck is y'all doing? Why are you agreeing with this miscreant? What's going on? This is not. See what happens when you get around a manipulative person and you be around them for too long? It changes you into a whole different bitch. Like, Barbara girl, no, that's why I can't be around it's like an addiction. When you have been manipulated or emotionally abused or whatever for a certain period of time, you start to normalize that shit. Your brain goes into survival mode and you start normalizing that shit. And then you just think this shit is okay, and you keep swallowing shit and acting like it doesn't bother you and just pretending like it's okay, to the point where now you're following a fucking dictator and shit. Like, look at Trump. Look at this motherfucker, y'all. But you know what? I saw this TikTok and it was saying how like this dude was saying how like they want black people on the front lines. People keep asking, like some black woman was like, the people keep asking why we aren't revolting and stuff because it's usually black people that do it. It's usually black people that set it off and shit, and they're waiting for us to do that, and we're not doing that because we voted, we did what we were supposed to do, whatever the fuck. And so that is just another way of showing that how we're not seen as human beings. They want us on the front line. They want us to pop off and crash out so that they can say, just like this dude, this is what the dude said. I don't want to like, copy whatever. But this is what dude said. They want us to crash out. So then they have a reason to come and bring like to have martial law because we've always been the ones that have been seen as criminals and violent people in this country. And they just need us to crash out so that they can have martial law because there are protests all over America right now. These protests with the Latin folks, the kids walking out of school, that the media is not reporting on these people. But let there be a group of black folks. They would be out there with the smoke bombs, the dogs, all the shit. But they can't do that because they've only criminalized black people in American eyes. They ain't criminalized. Like, you think they criminalize these Latino people to the point where we can sit up here and watch one of them get strangled to death on television? No, they have like a whole country. They have whole countries like behind their back that if they see some shit like that on a consistent basis like it is with black people, how they be killing us like all the time, these countries would like revolt against America. Something would happen. So they're not going to have the police out here filming all these little protests and shit like they would if black people were a part of it. They're waiting for, we're the martyrs. Because we're not seen as human beings. So as a collective, something in us has finally decided to work together and just sit it out. Just sit it out. For what? And take care of ourselves and our people and our families and stuff like that, because we've protested, we voted, we did what we were supposed to do, and y'all niggas still didn't give a fuck. So you can deal with this man in this house that is white, that was built by slaves, and you can deal with that. And I felt it. Like, now if it gets too bad, like, I don't think we should just not do anything, but I feel like the people that should be doing some shit is the people that, can be a little bit more aggressive than protesting. I'll just say it like that. A little bit more aggressive but I'm not one of them people. Somebody out there though may be one of them people, and they can do something about it. But I'm not. I'm just gonna make sure that I stack my money and I protect myself and my cat and do what I need to do, because no, I'm not about to let this motherfucker drive me crazy, because that's what happens when you start to be around these manipulative people. Your brain clicks over into survival mode and says, oh, we just need to keep our head down and just follow along, just like Barbara and Jacob did. He didn't want to give nobody no points, but we loved your art and everything though. Like, Barbara, shut up. You know you wrong. These are babies. Why aren't you standing up? Stand up, girl. No, but that just shows that, like, that's why we can't pedestalize people, because everybody has insecurities. Everybody is a human fucking being. We have to meet everybody at the same level. I don't care about your status and anything like that, because when you don't meet them at the same level and they show you that they're a fucked up person and you didn't know it because it was Beyonce or it was Lady Gaga or it was da-da-da, and that's all you saw. You didn't try to actually get to know this person as a human being. And then if they show you that actually they're a fucked up individual, then you're gonna be mad. Then you're going to be like, or you're going to start lying to yourself and deluding yourself into believing that no, and then we go into survival mode and just make everything that they do okay. Just like we made Michael Jackson being a pedophile. No, he's not. No, he's not. No, I believe the children. I don't care what you're talking about. I believe the children. I don't believe like these adults that are around the children. I don't believe anything anybody else says. I believe that man touched them babies because them babies said that he touched them, and it was multiple babies that said that he touched them. I don't care what you're talking about. We let R. Kelly just run around here for years with a sex dungeon that was full of little children. Like, We let Bill Cosby run around here, Harvey Weinstein run around here raping and pillaging and doing whatever he wanted to do, because we get into these situations with these toxic people and we start to go along with the rhetoric to survive that situation, because we really do believe they're more powerful than us. Nigga, just don't have nothing to lose. And if you do have nothing to lose, if you do have something to lose, then really gauge, because I'm willing to live in the woods with my cat and my Wrangler and shit. I'll lose all this shit, bitch, before I lose my motherfucking dignity, ho. No, you gotta be that down in it, because that's how revolutions start. Like, them people in the fires was talking about, like, oh, like, when they said we had to evacuate, I looked around at all my shit and realized I didn't even care about this shit no more. This is just stuff. I need to get the fuck out of here with me and my family and shit. No, that's how you gotta be. That's how you gotta be, because these people in power are banking on you. These fucked up people in power are banking on you to hang on to the ideology that they're trying to spit out, and feel bad about yourself because you're not where they're at. Fuck you. I don't want to be where you at if you got to be fucked up inside just to be where you at. Like, just give me the money. Like, I be in these motherfucking, like, I was at my old job and people would just be like dealing with shit all the time with these supervisors and directors and shit, and literally, like, once I've disconnected emotionally from the rhetoric of this group, I don't care about what you doing, where you going, being invited to stuff, whatever the fuck you talking about. Give me some money. Give me my money. That's all I care about, is getting some money, because the world is burning down around us. None of this shit matters. Give me some gold, some diamonds, some platinums and shit. Give me some shit that's gonna keep me alive when the apocalypse comes. I don't care about none of the rest of this bullshit. Like, you got me fucked up. So no, nobody in power, nobody with money, nobody with status is ever gonna make me bow down to them. I'll die first. I don't give a fuck. That means I get to go to heaven faster. Like, I'll die on that motherfucking bitch. Like, I don't care. You're not about to make me be sitting up here agreeing to bullshit and fuckery and all this other shit, looking around everybody else agreeing to bullshit and fuckery just because. And it'd be like these cults. Like you think about it, like it's like a cult when you're in these situations with like whether it's a job or a friend group, or it feels such, when everyone has the same ideology, it starts to feel like a fucking cult, and I hate it. I just started looking around. I feel claustrophobic, and especially when they start expecting me to have the ideology, and then they start treating me a type of way because I don't have the ideology. I'm still going to be the individual self that I am, and then I'm just like, fuck, you're supposed to build friendships and make community, but because you don't do the things that they want to do, you don't toe the line. They're looking at you like you're an asshole, and I'm just like, all I want to do is sit here and chill and like do my job and like stack my money, and like we can hang out for drinks sometime. I don't fucking know, but like, I'm not trying to like treat other people bad or tell people they ain't shit or make people feel less than and like I'm above them. It's not that serious. Like, it's weird, and that's what Morton did to Barbara and Jacob, and that's one of my pet, like, why I think it's a phobia at this point. And it's not that I have control issues, like I always need to be in control of everything, no. But I know when somebody is trying to control me in a negative way, and I just can't. You're not about to control me. You're not about to tell me what to think, how to feel. If we align, that's one thing, but you're not about to tell me how to think, how to feel, all this other random shit. Like, no. And so in the power dynamic thing that little baby was talking about, he was the one that was trying to be above Barbara and Jacob, and he was the one that was trying to be the one that knew everything and was the expert. I'm the expert, so that means that I deserve the expert at what, nigga? This is just a fun thing for children. You over here telling this little baby that his flowers he should have already known that the flowers would have changed. Why should he? Why should he? If he ain't never seen it happen before, he ain't never done it before, or some shit like that. Why should he know? And all these science projects that they're doing, I bet you that they've done those projects in his class. Like, he ain't out here trying to make them play with plutonium and shit. He out there making them change flowers into different colors and mixing up little chemicals and making them like bubble up and shit. Like he's teaching this shit in his class. So like, why is he? I don't like that nigga. I don't like anybody that tries to take power and control over other people. It's fucking weird. It is. It's weird. Like, you need to have these people's attention so bad. It's like an addiction. You're addicted to having this power that if you don't have it, then you don't know who you are. And that's a vulnerability I refuse to have. I'm not, because that's how you get caught up. Because you have all this power and you get blind to it, and you don't realize that the people that you are controlling through being mean and fucked up are now your ops, because they're getting madder and madder and madder. And now you got enemies that are smiling in your face, and you don't know when they're going to come against you. Now, you can be a nice person and still have this happen, but usually nice people are surrounded by other nice people, because they are selective of who they have discernment and shit like that. And so they have a good majority of people around them that are decent enough to make sure that, you know, they got eyes looking out to make sure that niggas don't fuck with them. But when you're not nice, even your close friends could be your enemies. You're just creating a fucking army to go against you and destroy you. Like, no, like, that's a vulnerability I don't want to have, because that's how these niggas fall. That's how these niggas fall. That's how Jim Jones fell, because he was making the governments around outside. He thought his little community, it was all there needed to be, and he wasn't thinking about the government outside of that or the people inside of it that wanted to leave and shit like that. And then he got too cocky, and then he said, well, I'm just gonna kill all of us. All of us are gonna die. Like, nigga, fuck you. Like, that's how these group settings are. Like, and that shit is like, it's uncomfortable. And so when I clock it, I just observe. I've disconnected emotionally from the job, from the friend group. I just observe until you piss me off enough for me to leave. And the thing is, I go to observation because people make mistakes and nobody's perfect. And I feel like if you didn't do something bad enough, I can just go to the level of observation, and we can always be promoted back to decency. Or we can be demoted to, I need to get the fuck about this bitch. I need to quit this job. I need to end this friendship. I need to leave the space because you out here doing some weird ass shit that I don't do shit like this. I don't try to make people feel a type of way and, you know, like, treat them shittily and stuff, like hold their job over them or whatever the fuck what they was doing at my old job. Like, I don't do shit like that. So now I gotta go because you ain't stopped, and now it's getting worse, and let me jump ship before this whole motherfucker blows up and shit. That's what happened at my old job too, around the pandemic and shit. I was talking to my coworker, and right after I quit, like a few months later, my old boss got fired. God bless. In the name of, see how God protects me. Okay, I'm talking about it's God. See how he protects me and makes my enemies my footstool in the name of Jesus. God bless, though. God bless. I hope she figures her life out and whatever was going on. But no, that's what I mean. The shit, when you do evil shit or fucked up shit, that's like turning on a car and leaving it running. That's like the goal is to be as calm as possible most of the time. And usually what keeps you calm is trying not to control things that you can't control. I can't control other people. I can give them advice. I can be your friend. I can interact with you. But I can't control you. I don't want to control you. And in trying to control you, that's when my downfall will come, because you don't want to be controlled either. And so you're going to get mad at me for trying to control you, and bad shit happens, you know? And so, no, I'm good. I'm good. Like that whole shit with Morton and Barbara and Jacob. Like, you ain't about to sit up here and talk to me like this, nigga. We will just outvote you. I'll look him dead in the face and be like, okay, well, it's 2-1, and you just need a majority vote for one of the kids to win. So we're just gonna outvote you because whatever you're talking about sounds like nonsense, and this is just for children, and it's not that big of a deal. So we're gonna outvote you, so we can still have judges. You can either participate or not participate. Because now I'm taking control of this. Now I'm taking control of this because you're not being fair. You're not being fair. You're not being caring. Like I'm not fucking around with whatever you're talking about. So Jacob. What were you saying again about morals and future effects of whatever the fuck? What were you saying about that? Let's go back to that. No, because I've been there, done that. I'm never going back there again. Don't care. But I'll give you a chance to improve. I ain't gonna say shit. I'm just gonna observe, and I'll give you a chance to improve. And if you improve, well then damn, I never even had to say shit. I still would have been at my old job if she didn't just spiral out of control or whatever the fuck happened during the pandemic and was sending all my shit back, and then I started spiraling and having panic attacks and no. That shit was fucking me up. Like, no, I still would have stayed there because I was getting my health insurance was paid for. I was getting extra money. It was flexible, so I could still see my clients and shit on the weekend at my private practice. I was getting double the money and shit, nigga. Like, it was a vibe, but no, God wanted me to leave, and that's okay. Sometimes God makes it hot, makes the fire hotter and hotter, so you can get the hell up out of there. Thank you, Jesus. God bless in the name of Jesus. So this is laying in bed, not editing, Jasmine. About to go to sleep, bitch. I forgot to mention Ava's dad. So Ava's dad, like, was one of the vendors to sponsor the supplies for the kids, right? So he comes to the school. And, like, so we find out that Ava's, like, so she's, like, upset with her dad because he has another family or whatever. So either he cheated on her mom or left her mom or whatever the fuck. And so now, like, we know that Ava got, like, abandonment issues and shit from her dad, and she got the, like, emotional abandonment issues from her mom and shit like that. And so we know why Ava's so closed off and shit now and stuff. I just feel like, I mean, Gregory couldn't help running into Mr. Facilier and shit. I know he's been in other stuff, but I remember him, Mr. Facilier. I don't give a fuck. He's a classic, iconic nigga, but, like, Mr. Facilier. And so, like, I know Gregory couldn't help running into him, but, like, I wish he didn't just show up at the school. Like, you don't know what type of trauma that he has caused to this woman. Like, they couldn't help that he would show up at the school, though, so it's whatever, but still, like, we don't know what kind of trauma he's caused to this woman. He could have been a whole child molester and shit. We don't know. And now her child molester's in the school, but no, he, like, ended up with some other woman and stuff. So at first she don't want to really talk to him, but he come up to the school because he wants to, like, the day after giving a little money for the, like, supplies and shit, he was like, well, you didn't call me about the money. And she's like, well, is that the only reason you gave me the money? And he was like, no, shut up, nigga shit. And so, like, he's just like, I wanted to talk to you because, you know, I've been trying to reach out to you and da-da-da. She's like, I don't give a fuck, nigga, fuck you. And so he tried to touch her, and then she, like, flinches back and shit, and he looks all like, oh my God. And then he, like, leaves, right? So then he comes to the fair again, and Janine sees this, and she's like, oh, are you okay, Ava? And Ava fucks around with her, and she's like, oh, the hole that he's left in my soul, and blah, 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 blah. And then Janine's trying to, like, hug her and shit. She's like, bitch, I'm just kidding. And I was just like, girl, I feel like that's partially wasn't a joke. You just don't trust people with your emotions and shit to be, like, open about the fact that that nigga hurt you. But, but, like, she said she was just joking, whatever, nigga. So he's at the little science fair, right? And I guess they kind of have, like, a neutral ground right now. Like, they're not, like, she's not super duper mad at him, but, like,
she's still mad at him, no, low-key. So like, but like she was nicer to him, I guess I'll say, at the little science fair situation, and they had a little kiki moment and shit, and it was cute or whatever, and I was just like, that's nice. So maybe she'll work it out with her dad. But like, I don't like how he showed the fuck up, because we still didn't know like when he showed up, like we did because she said it, but like, I don't like when niggas that have hurt you just pop up like that. That's fucking weird. No, if you sent out shit and she ain't responding back to you, at some point you're gonna have to respect that shit. You don't just pop up at people's work and shit. Like, nigga, like, especially at their job. Like, why the fuck are you popping up at a nigga's job? Like, no, you don't do that. No, because that's how you pay your bills. And you sit up here fucking with my money and I can be fired and some shit. No, you are not popping up at my job. I will cuss you the fuck out because I have my own business. And I just be looking at you like, I'm a motherfucking client, nigga. Like, what are you doing? Like, why did you think that this was okay? Like, you need to leave. But no, like, I forgot to mention that. I felt like it was important because it like has to do with mental health and whatever the fuck. But yeah, so I don't know where I'm gonna put this, but you know, hopefully it fits seamlessly with some other scene or something. It's like, I'm a director, bitch. I'm a creator, bitch. I create arts and things and shit, bitch. Anyways, back to the regular programming and shit.
But yeah, that was this episode of Abbott Elementary. Don't let people control you, and don't try to control other people. Just vibe and see how you can come together and coordinate together, and how one person's individuality can fit into your individuality, and you can create something brand new. Like do that. And if you can't fit, go find the people that you fit with and let them find you, or however you want to do it. But don't sit up here and get status or get power or feel like you have status and power and then use that to like make motherfuckers feel bad about themselves, or not even clock that you're making motherfuckers feel bad about themselves, so the point where you keep doing it over and over again, and then you're looking around wondering why people are treating you a certain way, because nigga, you're mean. And you don't give a shit, so you're not even clocking the body language, the sad faces when you open your mouth, the bowing of heads when you open your, because you think that that's power, that they look sad. It's like, see, I'm winning because I made these hoes sad. Like, shut up, bitch. You fucking stupid ass Morton. No, that shit is dumb. Like, just be chill, be nice, be kind. And don't forget the children. Don't forget the children like the teachers did. They just sitting up here worried about their own shit. They forgot the damn kids and shit and hurt the kids' feelings. Them little babies didn't deserve that. And I'm glad they stood up for themselves. And I'm glad them adults took accountability and responsibility for their actions and let them kids do what they wanted to do and enjoy the science fair like they were supposed to. That's how it should have been. I like this episode. There was a lot of nuances and shit. But anyway, I'm gonna need to see Barbara stand up to these motherfuckers that make her feel bad though. Like, she need to cuss them church bitches out. Like, I just want to see her cuss these church bitches out one good time. Just cuss. No, now they making her like an easy target for other manipulators. No, you cuss them church bitches out one good time and cleanse your spirit of their negative energy so that you can live life and be the bad bitch that you are. I don't understand what the problem is. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this review. Let me know what you think. And later days.